finding your niche is an outdated advice, and it's actually a trap if you are a curious or a creative person. What if the secret to creating value isn't specializing, but connecting different ideas? I used to obsess over picking my one thing, to niche down, to follow my bliss, to find my why. But I always felt limited, almost suffocated, and I eventually lost interest in that narrow topic and jumped over to the next one thing. And I love many topics, from trading to derivatives, to AI, to Jungian psychology, to art. So I always kept pivoting because there was always something next door that I could go to. But I finally found some uncommon ideas that made me realize pursuing multiple ideas is not a flaw. It is actually a rare strength if you know how to properly leverage it. By the end of this video, you'll understand how you're not aimless, but you are a generalist, and how connecting ideas, not specializing, is how you generate real value in the world today. Having a niche can be a good idea if you are selling physical products, if you are implementing very technical solutions, or if you already have experience in a field and you know the details and the demand, something that you cannot find online easily. Because if you are doing those things, you can then define better your ideal customer and you can sell more and or for a better price. But if you're starting from scratch, you don't have a lot of experience, you don't have a lot of ideas about a given field, you are now competing with AI. So any person now can learn how to prompt AI in 5 minutes, or can even get ready-made prompts and apply that to their specific situation. So they will have all the information on the internet customized to their situation. And this is a strong trend. There's no going back. More and more people will use AI like that. And even if you check Google, their stock just dropped 80% because people realized that people will not use search anymore. They will use AI to solve their problems. So instead of striving to become a commodity in a tiny pond, the better way nowadays is to be a unique voice across a landscape. And some people have been doing this for a long time. If you think about Naval Ravikant, Chris Williamson, Tim Ferriss, even Andrew Huberman. He is like the neuroscience guy, but his guests range from all over the place. So those people, they explore themes. They don't explore specific topics. So the true value nowadays is not just what you know, but how you connect different pieces of information. This is your lens, or your unique operating system. So how do you identify your lens? There are a lot of ways, a lot of questions you can ask yourself. For instance, what do you keep trying to answer in different domains? For instance, how can we optimize this? Or what's the underlying principle here? Or how does this connect to human psychology? You can also try to find consistent filters or frameworks that you naturally apply to a lot of different subjects. For instance, scientific thinking, Stoic principles, a minimalist approach, an aesthetic eye, a humanistic approach. And you can also think about unique combinations that you have or that you like. For instance, technology plus ancient philosophy, or trading discipline with creative habits. And there's a self-reflection exercise that you can try, is think about the last 5 interesting conversations that you had, or the 5 last interesting content rabbit holes that you went into, and try to find a common thread or the angle that's common between all those subjects. So gather all that data your interests, your skills, your activities, your social groups, your favorite artists and art, etc., and try to find patterns within it. And as a bonus tip, use AI in your favor to do that. You can actually write a prompt and write all of those interests, all of those things that you found about yourself, and ask AI to think outside the box and help connect the dots. If you are interested in that, let me know in the comments and I'll make a specific video about it and how to go about it. Because I did it and I kept chatting to AI for about a week, going down that rabbit hole, and it's really interesting. So comment below if you want me to go deeper into that. But going back to forgetting about having a niche and actually finding your lens, we go to a thematic thread approach to creating content or creating a service. Instead of isolated topics, you can think of thematic threads that weave through your varied interests. And that's exactly how I went about it and what finally got me moving, and it's what made me record this very video and the other videos in this channel. So I'm going to use myself as an example. Like I said, I like AI, I like trading, I like derivatives, I like art, I like literature, I like a bunch of things. I like wine, I like whiskey, I like techno, a whole bunch of things. So one of the threads that I found is AI augmented wisdom. So I can talk about AI for researching ancient texts, AI for optimizing Stoic practices, or provocative art about technology. So the AI augmented wisdom is the common thread between all those content ideas. And you can see how this does not put me into a box, because I can talk about a lot of different things and I can easily pivot. If AI ever becomes obsolete and something else comes along, I can pivot to that, because I'm not like the AI for trading guy. I'm just like AI wisdom. So I can trade AI for the new tech that comes along. Another thread of mine could be the intentional introvert's edge. So I could discuss deep work, realistic ways for introverts to network, or even design solo travel experiences that leverage introverted strengths. That is something that I've done in my life, and that's something that I could try to package as interesting content or even services. But again, you see how this is not a channel like an introvert in engineering or an introvert in marketing. It's not that. It's not that type of niche. It's a different lens, a different way of seeing the world that I can apply to several different situations. And I can do that because I'm an introvert and I think a lot about psychology, neuroscience, and how to be effective in several different ways. So I connected those dots and I have like an infinite well of content with those two ideas combined. So you may be thinking, like, it's easy to see how a niche would reach an audience that would be addicted to that specific content. So how would making content using those lenses engage an audience? Well, if you think about it, if you see people around you, people are not just following specific topics anymore. They are following a mind or a perspective. Like I said before, simple information gathering will be handled by AI. It already is. So when people want some information about some specific topic, more and more they will go to AI and find the specific information they need. But we are still human, and humans need human experiences. And watching other people, real people, satisfies that need. It's like radio, who kept people company for decades, and still does. But now we also have YouTubers and podcasters. So I never understood podcasts until I realized that people don't want information. They want to watch a real conversation. They want to feel part of a nice conversation with interesting people. So you don't want to become a specific service provider. you want to become an interesting friend to people. And this approach will be slower than picking a niche, but it will eventually attract other curious, thoughtful people, and also people who appreciate your unique synthesis. Think of people you follow on a particular topic. You could get that information elsewhere, but something about how they deliver that information, about their personality or the way of seeing the world, keeps you coming back. And this whole strategy mitigates the fear of commitment that a lot of us creative people have, and allows for evolution and prevents you from painting yourself into a corner. Your interests can evolve, and it's nearly impossible to become obsolete and forgotten. I hope this was useful. Please subscribe if you want more content like this. And if you like this video, you will really love this next suggestion on your screen right now. See ya.